There is an invisible power that governs all supply, a golden current of abundance flowing ceaselessly through the universe, awaiting your recognition. Most people wake up and greet the day with worry. They look at their bank account and sigh, not enough. And thus they command the infinite to withhold its gifts. But when you rise in the morning and bless your bank account, when you speak words of plenty, not poverty, you align yourself with the divine law of prosperity. You become a magnet for supply, and money, like faithful servants, rushes to obey your voice. Every morning is a sacred new beginning. It is the moment to set your mind in tune with the rhythm of abundance. Before you open your eyes fully, whisper within, "Divine substance is my unfailing supply. Every bill is paid, every need is met, every door is open." When you bless your finances, you awaken the sleeping forces of wealth that live within and around you. The outer world mirrors the inner world. Speak blessings and blessings appear. Speak lack and lack follows you like a shadow. Money is not a cruel master, it is a loyal servant. But like any servant, it responds to your tone. If you command it with fear, it flees. If you command it with faith, it multiplies. Your words are wands, charged with the electricity of your belief. When you declare, "My bank account overflows with divine riches," you are not pretending, you are prophesying. You are sending forth a spiritual decree into the substance of the universe which cannot return void. There is no use envying the rich or regretting the past. The power that made gold and silver has not withdrawn its hand. The fountain of supply never runs dry. Only your recognition of it falters. Every morning, as the sun rises, so does your opportunity to realign with the law of increase. See your bank balance not as a number, but as a reflection of your inner faith. Whisper blessings over it. Give thanks for what is already there, and more shall come, pressed down and running over. Bless your bills, too. Yes, bless them. Each one represents a service already rendered, a proof that circulation is alive. Money is meant to move, to flow, to dance like light. When you bless its going out, you command its return in multiplied form. Say, "Divine substance now fills this account. I give freely and I receive joyfully. I am in the perfect rhythm of plenty." The universe has been waiting for you to speak this truth. Every morning you bless your bank account. You remind the unseen forces of abundance who you truly are. A child of infinite supply. You are not a beggar at the door of fortune. You are the heir to a limitless kingdom. Speak your blessings, feel them in the marrow of your being, and the law of prosperity will hasten to prove them true. Words are living forces. Every syllable carries a vibration, a pulse of energy that moves through the unseen realms and shapes the visible world. When you speak words of blessing, you are not merely uttering pleasant affirmations. You are releasing spiritual power into the substance of life itself. There is no idle word in the universe. Every thought and every statement plants a seed in the fertile soil of the subconscious, and what is sown there must eventually take form. To bless is to call forth the good that already exists in potential, to command the invisible abundance around you to reveal itself in visible expression. When you bless your finances, you are not addressing a pile of paper bills or numbers in a digital ledger. You are speaking directly to divine substance, the infinite essence that underlies all material supply. Words of blessing stir this essence into action. They align your consciousness with the truth that abundance is not something you must chase or earn, but something you must recognize and receive. The universe is obedient to the tone of your words. If your speech is colored with worry, complaint, or self-pity, you are issuing a decree of limitation. But when your voice carries praise, gratitude, and expectation of good, the same power turns and works for you, drawing to you people, opportunities, and resources that match the vibration of your blessing. In truth, your words are spiritual commands. You may not see the immediate evidence, but every declaration of prosperity sets unseen forces in motion. You stand as the mouthpiece of the divine law, and your words determine how that law operates in your life. A person who continually speaks of lack, debt, and hardship is unconsciously blessing poverty, giving it power to continue its reign. Yet the one who blesses their finances daily, who declares that divine substance is their unfailing supply, opens the way for the law of increase to flow unobstructed. Every blessing pronounced over your bank account is a key that unlocks the storehouse of heaven. To bless is to affirm the truth in the face of appearances. The outer world may show scarcity, but the inner reality is overflowing with abundance. The law responds not to appearances, but to conviction. When you speak words of blessing with unwavering faith, you pierce through the illusion of lack and summon the abundance that has always belonged to you. The power of your word does not lie in repetition alone, but in the feeling that fuels it. A cold statement made with doubt has little force, but one word spoken with spiritual authority can overturn years of limitation. Every morning offers a new opportunity to speak these words of blessing into your world. When you awaken, your mind is clear, receptive, and close to the creative substance of the universe. This is the ideal moment to declare prosperity. Speak gently, but speak with conviction. Divine substance now fills my life. Every channel of good is open to me. I am blessed, supplied, and prospered in all ways. These are not mere affirmations, they are sacred decrees. The universe listens and obeys. Your words, charged with faith, travel like ripples through the spiritual atmosphere, touching every condition related to your finances and transmuting them into harmony and increase. There is profound alchemy in speech. The ancient wisdom teaches that the word is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Through it, the unformed becomes formed. This truth has never ceased to operate. It works for all who understand and apply it. When you bless your money, your income, and your possessions, you infuse them with the light of divine order. They respond by multiplying, by flowing toward you with ease. Money that is blessed carries a vibration of joy and returns to you swiftly, while money that is cursed or resented carries confusion and leaves in haste. Therefore, let every word you speak over your finances be a word of love and thanksgiving. To bless is also to release fear. Many people bind their wealth with anxiety, believing that worry will protect what they have. Yet worry is a command for loss, for it declares to the universe that you do not trust the source of your supply. When you bless your money, you proclaim your trust in divine order. You affirm that the same power which moves the stars and causes the tides to rise is managing your affairs with perfect precision. In that moment, fear dissolves and faith takes its rightful place. The spoken word carries creative fire. Imagine each statement of blessing as a spark that lights the lamp of prosperity within you. The more consistently you speak these words, the brighter the lamp burns, until it illumines every dark corner of your financial life. The old patterns of doubt, resentment, and scarcity cannot survive in that light. They melt away, replaced by confidence and gratitude. This is not a process of magic, but of divine law. You are aligning your consciousness with the truth that abundance is already here. When you bless your bank account, you are not pretending that it holds more than it does. You are recognizing that behind every number lies infinite potential. You are invoking the law of expansion, which multiplies whatever is acknowledged with gratitude. A person who looks at a small balance and says, "This is blessed and growing," will soon find that growth reflected outwardly. But the one who sighs, "This is not enough," shuts the door to increase. The law cannot bring more to one who denies the good that already exists. Every word of blessing you speak becomes a thread in the tapestry of your prosperity. Day by day, word by word, you weave a new pattern of abundance. The results may come through unexpected channels, for divine substance is endlessly inventive. Money may arrive, or opportunities may unfold, or debts may dissolve, as if by miracle. Yet none of these outcomes are random. They are the visible reflections of your spoken word, the fruit of your consistent blessings. To bless is to claim your dominion. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are the conscious creator of your experience. Words of blessing remind the universe of this truth. They lift your vibration to the level of divine supply, where all things are already accomplished. When you speak them sincerely, you are aligning yourself with the rhythm of the cosmos, where every need is already met in perfect timing and perfect form. So speak your blessings freely. Speak them over your income, your work, your wallet, your home. Speak them over your opportunities, your dreams, and your expectations. Let no idle or negative word escape your lips regarding your supply. The more you bless, the more you will see the evidence of those blessings made manifest in your life. Each morning, as you greet the day, remember that your words are wands of creation, shaping the invisible into visible abundance, summoning the riches of the universe into your experience through the divine authority of your spoken word. Faith is the golden key that unlocks every door of supply, while fear is the shadow that bars the entrance. These two forces cannot dwell in the same mind at the same time. One builds, the other destroys. One opens, the other closes. The law of life responds with perfect precision to whichever one you choose. Faith says, all things are possible, and the universe moves to confirm it. Fear says, I may lose, and the same law confirms that as well. Every condition in your financial life reflects the balance between these two powers. When faith governs your thought, money flows naturally, opportunities unfold, and solutions appear before the problem can take root. When fear governs, you tighten, you resist, and you unknowingly block the very current of prosperity that seeks to reach you. Faith is not mere belief, it is inner knowing. It is the quiet assurance that divine order is at work, even when appearances suggest the opposite. It is the invisible bridge between your current situation and the abundance you desire. Fear, on the other hand, is imagination gone astray. It pictures disaster, limitation, and loss, and by dwelling on these images, it molds them into form. Both faith and fear are creative, but only one creates harm. Both are prayers, but only one aligns with the truth of supply. The universe cannot differentiate between the energy of your emotions. It simply reproduces whatever is impressed upon it with conviction. Thus, a fearful thought held with strong feeling is as potent in its destructive power as a faithful thought is in its creative one. When you govern your financial life through faith, you are aligning yourself with the eternal law of good. You are affirming that all supply flows from a divine source that never fails. You are no longer dependent on the outer world for your security, for your trust is anchored in something deeper and unchanging. Faith sees through appearances. It knows that behind every seeming delay or lack lies divine adjustment, preparing something better than you imagine. To walk by faith is to release control of the how and when, and to rest in the certainty that abundance is already on its way. The fearful person lives in constant tension, clinging to money, resenting its outflow, doubting its return. This state of contraction signals to the universe that the individual does not trust the flow, and thus the flow diminishes. The faithful person gives thanks even before receiving, blesses the circulation of money, and releases it with joy, knowing that what goes forth in love must return multiplied. Faith expands, fear contracts. Faith radiates, fear withholds. The law of prosperity always answers expansion, for life itself is ever seeking to enlarge its expression. Faith transforms the very atmosphere of your consciousness. It is like sunlight breaking through clouds of doubt, melting the ice of limitation, awakening the seeds of prosperity that have long lain dormant in the soil of your mind. The moment you choose faith over fear, you change the vibration of your energy field. People begin to respond differently to you. New ideas arise, unexpected channels open. You may call it coincidence, but it is divine law responding to your new tone of trust. The same energy that once sustained your worries now fuels your creation. Fear thrives on repetition. The more you think about what you lack, the more real that lack becomes to your mind, until it feels like an unchangeable fact. Faith also grows through repetition, but it bears different fruit. Each time you affirm that divine substance is your supply, that every need is met, that there is no loss in the infinite, you strengthen the roots of faith. Soon it becomes natural to trust, as natural as breathing. Fear fades not by struggle, but by disuse. You cannot think two thoughts at once. Each moment you affirm faith, you are silencing fear. Many people mistake faith for naive optimism, but true faith is not blind, it is deeply perceptive. It sees with the inner eye what the outer eye cannot yet perceive. It knows that every problem is a temporary appearance, every delay a divine detour toward something greater. Faith never panics, for it understands that the same power which governs the stars governs every detail of your financial affair. To live by faith is to live in partnership with this invisible intelligence. You may not know how it will supply you, but you know that it will. That certainty is your anchor amid shifting tides. When you let fear govern, you become reactive. You look to the outer world for proof of safety, and since the outer always mirrors the inner, you find more uncertainty. You clutch your possessions tightly, afraid they may vanish. You postpone generosity, believing you cannot afford to give. Yet by this very act you shut the door through which new supply could enter. Faith, however, moves differently. It acts as though abundance is already established. It gives freely, knowing that giving and receiving are two ends of the same golden thread. It speaks words of praise instead of complaint, and those words vibrate with creative power. Faith is not built in an instant. It is cultivated like a garden. Each morning you water it with affirmations of truth. Each act of trust, each moment you choose peace over worry, strengthens its roots. Soon faith becomes your natural state, and fear no longer finds a home within you. The anxious habit of checking, doubting, and second-guessing dissolves, replaced by quiet confidence. You begin to understand that faith is not something you do, it is what you are when you remember your divine nature. Your finances respond instantly to this shift. Even if no outer change appears at once, something profound occurs within you. The tightness around money relaxes. Gratitude takes the place of dread. You handle your resources with respect rather than fear, and that respect invites increase. Faith opens your perception to opportunities that fear would have blinded you to. You notice ideas, people, and possibilities that were always present but unseen. The river of supply has never ceased flowing. Faith simply clears the debris of worry that blocked it. When fear speaks, it says, "What if I fail?" When faith speaks, it says, "What if I succeed beyond measure?" Fear imagines loss, faith imagines fulfillment. Fear calculates, faith creates. Every decision you make around money carries one of these energies. If you buy, save, give, or work from fear, your actions carry the vibration of scarcity. If you do the same things from faith, they carry the vibration of increase. The outward act may appear the same, but the inner cause determines the result. Faith is the language of divine law. It communicates to the universe in tones of assurance and gratitude. Fear speaks in doubt, which the universe cannot translate into abundance. The law of supply requires a clear signal. Mixed thoughts produce mixed results. When you stand firmly in faith, you send forth one steady vibration. All is well. I am provided for. The universe supports my every step. That unwavering message brings matching circumstances into form. Cultivate faith through feeling as well as thought. Speak words of prosperity, but also feel them in your heart. Imagine what it is to be fully supported, to live without anxiety about money. Feel the relief, the freedom, the joy of it. That emotion is faith in motion, the living energy that shapes your experience. Fear imagines negative pictures with emotional intensity. You must give faith the same vivid energy. The mind creates through feeling, not mere repetition. When faith governs, you no longer chase money, you magnetize it. Your vibration becomes one of ease, and money responds to ease, not struggle. You no longer work from desperation, but from inspiration. The right ideas come at the right time. The right clients, partners, or opportunities cross your path effortlessly. Fear once made you grasp for control. Faith allows you to flow with divine timing. The world may call it luck, but it is law. The universe mirrors your inner state with perfect accuracy. When faith rules your thoughts, every outer condition must eventually harmonize with that faith. The bills that once frightened you become reminders of circulation. The debts that once weighed upon you dissolve through inspired action. The income that once seemed small begins to grow, not by force but by the natural operation of the law of increase, responding to your faith-filled command. Gratitude is the secret language of abundance, the invisible bridge between what you have and what you desire. It is the key that unlocks the flow of divine substance through every channel of your life. When you give thanks for what already exists, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude is not a mere sentiment, it is a spiritual vibration that calls forth increase. Every grateful thought is a magnet drawing prosperity nearer, while every complaint pushes it farther away. When you meet life with appreciation, even before outward evidence appears, you align yourself with the law of expansion. For whatever is acknowledged and blessed must multiply. Many people wait until something wonderful happens before they express thanks, but true gratitude precedes the manifestation. It is faith in motion, the confident recognition that the good you desire is already on its way. When you awaken each morning and bless your life as though it were overflowing with abundance, you impress that pattern upon divine substance. The unseen responds instantly to the feeling behind your words. To say thank you from the heart is to affirm that all is well, that the universe is orderly, that supply is certain. Gratitude dissolves the vibration of lack, for it focuses the mind on what is present rather than what is missing. When you look at your bank account, your home, your work, or your daily provisions, and give thanks sincerely, you are expanding the good that already exists. You may not see large sums of money yet, but you can bless every dollar, every small opportunity, every simple comfort, knowing that each one is a seed of more to come. Gratitude waters those seeds. The one who constantly complains about what they lack is unknowingly watering weeds of limitation. But the one who gives thanks for every sign of progress cultivates a harvest of prosperity. The law is exact and impartial. It simply reproduces whatever state of mind you persistently hold. Gratitude transforms your perception. What once appeared ordinary becomes radiant with divine meaning. The smallest coin becomes a token of infinite supply. The simplest meal becomes a feast prepared by the unseen hand of abundance. This shift in awareness is powerful, for it reconditions the subconscious mind to expect good. Expectation is the womb of creation, and gratitude keeps it fertile. When you live in a state of thankfulness, fear and doubt cannot enter. You become immune to the outer suggestion of lack, for your inner world vibrates with plenty. There is no faster way to multiply your blessings than to appreciate them deeply. The universe loves recognition. What you ignore diminishes, what you praise expands. Every act of gratitude strengthens your magnetic field and draws to you more of the same energy. If you wish to increase your income, begin by giving thanks for the money you already have. Handle it with respect. Bless each bill you pay, for it represents energy that has served you. Say quietly as you release it, "I give thanks for this divine circulation. Money returns to me multiplied." Such consciousness transforms every transaction into a sacred exchange, a dance between giving and receiving. Many people look at their obligations with dread, calling them burdens, but gratitude transforms them into evidence of life's generosity. Each bill is proof that you have received something of value: a home to live in, light to see by, food to nourish you. To resent these symbols of exchange is to curse your own supply. To bless them is to open new channels for more. The grateful person blesses the going out as much as the coming in, for both are signs of circulation. Just as the heart must both give and receive blood to sustain life, so must your financial flow move freely through gratitude. Gratitude also refines your emotions. It turns comparison into contentment, impatience into peace, scarcity into sufficiency. When you give thanks for what you already possess, you stop measuring your worth against others. You realize that abundance is not a competition but a state of consciousness. Gratitude quiets the restless mind and centers it in the present moment, where divine substance is always available. You no longer chase prosperity. You recognize it in the breath you take, the light that touches your face, the opportunities that cross your path each day. To practice gratitude is to acknowledge the divine intelligence behind every detail of your life. It is to see order where others see chaos, progress where others see delay. Even apparent obstacles become blessings when viewed through grateful eyes, for they refine your faith and redirect your path toward greater good. When something leaves your life, give thanks that it has served its purpose. When something new begins, give thanks that the universe has trusted you with more. Gratitude turns every event into a step upward, every challenge into a hidden gift. There is a rhythm in the universe, a constant outpouring of good, and gratitude keeps you attuned to that rhythm. The ungrateful mind moves against the current, straining and struggling, but the grateful heart flows effortlessly with it. You cannot hold resentment and gratitude in the same space. One must yield to the other. Each time you choose to give thanks instead of complaining, you rise to a higher frequency of creation. And on that frequency, miracles appear as natural results. Gratitude must be felt, not merely spoken. The power lies in the emotion behind the words. Empty repetition has little effect, but one moment of sincere appreciation can shift the entire vibration of your being. Take time each morning to sit quietly and feel gratitude for the simple fact of life itself, the breath that sustains you, the opportunities before you, the unseen forces arranging circumstances for your benefit. This inner practice sets the tone for your day, drawing harmonious experiences into your path. Gratitude is not an obligation, it is a privilege, a joyful acknowledgement of your partnership with the divine source. Even when appearances seem contrary, maintain your gratitude. That is the supreme test of faith. When your resources seem low, thank the universe for the unseen supply already moving toward you. When things appear delayed, thank divine timing for its perfection. Gratitude does not deny difficulty. It transcends it by focusing on truth rather than illusion. The law cannot resist such steadfast faith, for gratitude is faith in action. It declares, "I know my good is here, even if my eyes do not yet see it." This unwavering attitude magnetizes the very thing you are thankful for. Make gratitude a habit so natural that it colors every thought. Give thanks as you rise, as you work, as you rest. Give thanks for each exchange, each idea, each act of kindness that touches your life. Let your words be filled with appreciation, for they carry the creative energy of your heart. Gratitude spoken aloud multiplies its power, sending ripples through the unseen that return as multiplied blessings. In the atmosphere of gratitude, money becomes friendly, opportunities grow, relationships harmonize, and peace of mind blossoms. You realize that wealth is not something to be earned through strain, but something to be recognized and accepted through praise. The more you acknowledge the divine abundance already around you, the more visible it becomes. Gratitude opens the eyes of the soul, allowing you to see the richness that has always been present. It changes nothing outwardly at first, yet it changes everything inwardly, and the outer must follow. Every time you express genuine gratitude, you are affirming the law of increase. You are saying to the universe, "I see your goodness, and I welcome more of it." The divine responds instantly to such recognition, for the universe is eager to give wherever appreciation is found. Gratitude creates a vacuum that must be filled, and that filling comes in the form of greater supply, greater joy, greater peace. Let gratitude become your constant companion, your first response to every circumstance. It is not a tool to get something, but a way of being that reveals what has always been yours. The thankful heart cannot remain in poverty, for it lives already in the consciousness of abundance. Through gratitude, you discover that wealth was never something to pursue. It was the natural condition of a mind that knows how to pursue the good it already holds. The circulation of money is the heartbeat of prosperity, the rhythmic pulse that keeps abundance alive and moving through your life. Money, like the blood in your veins, must flow freely to sustain health and vitality. When you cling to it in fear, You interrupt its natural rhythm. When you let it move joyfully, it returns to you multiplied. The law of circulation governs all forms of supply: money, love, ideas, opportunities, and this law is exact and impartial. Whatever you release with gratitude and faith must come back to you, transformed and increased. To understand this is to master the art of divine exchange, where giving and receiving are not opposites, but one continuous movement of energy. Many people make the mistake of hoarding or withholding their money, believing that safety lies in keeping it confined. Yet in doing so, they choke the very flow that sustains their supply. Fearful saving is not true security, it is stagnation. Money that is trapped loses its life force, just as water that does not move becomes stagnant and unfit to drink. The universe is dynamic, not static. Every blessing you hold too tightly begins to fade, while everything you release with joy grows and returns. When you bless your outflow, your spending, your giving, your generosity, you set in motion a chain of divine compensation that must find its way back to you through unexpected channels. The circulation of money is not limited to physical exchange. It includes every act of generosity, every service rendered, every gift of time, talent, or kindness. Each moment you give something of value, whether material or spiritual, you are placing yourself in the current of divine abundance. The more freely you allow that current to move through you, the more it strengthens. Giving and receiving are the inhale and exhale of prosperity. To give without expectation and to receive without guilt are signs that you understand this divine rhythm. You are neither clinging to nor resisting the flow. You are dancing within it. Every dollar you spend carries your consciousness with it. If you release it with fear, resentment, or anxiety, it will carry those vibrations into the world and return in kind. If you release it with blessing, gratitude, and confidence, it will return bearing the same frequency. Before you pay a bill or make a purchase, pause for a moment and silently affirm, "This money blesses all it touches and returns to me multiplied." That simple act transforms a routine transaction into a sacred ritual of circulation. You begin to see money not as something to lose, but as something that moves through you, bringing blessings wherever it travels. The law of circulation also teaches that you cannot receive what you are unwilling to give. Many people desire wealth, but live with closed hands, guarding every coin, hesitant to share. Their desire and their fear contradict each other, and the universe mirrors that contradiction. When you open your hand to give, you open the same channel through which supply can return. The act of giving declares, "I trust divine substance, I live in abundance," and the universe responds to that declaration with proof. The channels of return may be mysterious, but they are always perfect. Money itself is neutral, it simply obeys the consciousness that directs it. When you treat money as a servant of divine law, it serves you faithfully. When you treat it as a master to be feared or worshipped, it slips away. Circulation keeps money alive. Think of it as light. Its purpose is to move, to illuminate, to expand. When you send it out with joy, it illuminates your path. When you hoard it in darkness, it dims. The wise steward blesses both inflow and outflow, recognizing them as two sides of the same truth. The universe never stops giving. There are people who give out of guilt or obligation, and there are those who give from love and freedom. The first type of giving drains energy, the second multiplies it. The motive behind the gift determines its return. You may give a small amount, yet if it is filled with faith and love, it carries infinite power. The widow's mite, given with trust, holds more spiritual substance than great sums given with reluctance. When you give, see your offering as a seed planted in divine soil. You may not know where or how it will grow, but you can be sure that it will bear fruit, for the law of circulation is unfailing. Receiving is equally sacred. Some people block the flow of abundance by refusing to accept gifts, help, or recognition. They believe that humility means declining, but true humility is the willingness to receive with gratitude, knowing that every giver is also a receiver. When you accept joyfully, you honor the giver and complete the circle of circulation. Each act of receiving replenishes the energy you have given. The universe cannot pour into a closed vessel. It must find openness, receptivity, and joy. Circulation is the law that governs nature itself. The tides flow out and return. The seasons give and receive. The breath expands and contracts. Nothing in life is static, and money is no exception. The moment you align yourself with this cosmic rhythm, worry disappears. You realize that every dollar spent creates space for more to enter. Every act of generosity expands the reach of your good. Lack is simply the illusion of interrupted circulation, the moment when fear dams the river of supply. But faith and gratitude dissolve those barriers instantly, restoring the current to its natural strength. Consider the farmer who plants seeds. He does not mourn the loss of them as they leave his hand. He understands the principle of return. He knows that for every seed given to the soil, countless more will come forth in due time. Money operates under the same spiritual law. Every dollar released in faith is a seed planted in divine ground. To hoard the seed out of fear is to forfeit the harvest. To plant it in love and confidence is to guarantee increase. The beauty of circulation is that it blesses all involved. The giver and receiver are not separate. They are two expressions of the same divine abundance. When you give joyfully, you not only enrich the life of another, but also strengthen your own connection to the source of all good. The energy you send forth ripples outward, touching unseen lives, and eventually finds its way back to you magnified. The universe is circular, not linear. Nothing you give in love is ever lost. This law operates beyond money. Every kind word, every encouragement, every act of service participates in the great cycle of circulation. What you give out in thought, word, and deed inevitably returns to you in multiplied form. The miser who withholds love, time, or kindness experiences poverty in all areas of life, while the generous soul, who gives freely and without fear, lives in continual overflow. The state of giving keeps the heart open, and an open heart is the gateway through which all blessings enter. To live according to the law of circulation is to live in partnership with the universe. You stop asking, "Will I have enough?" and begin affirming, "There is always more coming." You see your finances not as a fixed reservoir, but as a flowing river. The river does not question whether it will be replenished. It simply moves, nourishes, and renews. The moment you align your consciousness with this truth, anxiety dissolves. You begin to trust that what goes out must come back, for that is the rhythm of divine life itself. In this flow, generosity becomes joy rather than duty. You give because giving feels natural, because you know that to give is to affirm your wealth. You receive without guilt, because you know that receiving is divine order. You move with the current of supply, not against it. Every exchange becomes an act of worship, every transaction a celebration of abundance. Money no longer feels heavy or burdensome. It feels alive, vibrant, sacred. The more you honor its circulation, the more it blesses you, for divine substance loves motion, and in that motion, prosperity finds its eternal rhythm. Daily affirmation is the gentle yet mighty practice of aligning yourself with the infinite supply that surrounds you. Each day, as the sun rises, the universe offers you a new beginning, a clean page upon which you may write the story of abundance. The words you speak each morning are not idle sounds. They are creative commands, shaping the invisible substance of your life into visible form. To affirm is to declare what is true in spirit, even before it appears in matter. The power of daily affirmation lies in its constancy. Every day that you affirm your connection with divine supply, you strengthen the pattern of prosperity in your consciousness until it becomes your natural state of being. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant will grow. If you sow thoughts of worry, doubt, and lack, those weeds will quickly spread. But if you plant thoughts of plenty, gratitude, and divine ardor, your inner garden will bloom with opportunities and peace. Daily affirmation is the act of weeding out fear and replanting faith. It does not matter what happened yesterday or what challenges lie ahead. Each new dawn is a chance to speak life over your circumstance. Every affirmation is a declaration of independence from limitation and a pledge of loyalty to infinite abundance. The universe listens to the tone of your conviction and responds accordingly. When you wake in the morning, your mind is open and receptive, like soft clay ready to be molded. That is the sacred moment to impress truth upon it. Before the world fills your thoughts with noise and distraction, fill them with the vibration of prosperity. You may affirm silently or aloud, but do so with feeling, for emotion is the electricity that animates words. Say within yourself, "Divine substance is my unfailing supply. Every channel of good is open to me. I walk in abundance, health, and peace." Speak it as though it were already accomplished, for in truth it is. The universe operates by law, and the law recognizes no difference between the seen and the unseen. It simply reproduces what is affirmed with faith. The repetition of daily affirmation is not about convincing a reluctant universe. It is about convincing your own mind of what the universe already knows. You are surrounded by infinite substance, eager to take the shape of your thoughts and words. Each morning you affirm, you re-establish harmony between your consciousness and that infinite substance. Doubt, fear, and old conditioning may attempt to intrude, but persistence dissolves them. A single affirmation spoken once may fade, but a truth declared daily carves a channel through the resistance of disbelief. Over time, your words become your reality, for you have spoken them into the very structure of your being. Affirmations are not magic spells, they are statements of alignment. They work not by forcing results, but by tuning your vibration to the level where those results naturally exist. You are never trying to create abundance, it already exists. You are merely lifting your awareness to the frequency where abundance can be seen and experienced. Daily affirmation keeps you anchored in that higher awareness. It is like adjusting the dial on a radio. The music has always been there, but you must tune to the right station to hear it clearly. Through consistent affirmation, you attune yourself to the song of prosperity, until it becomes the background music of your entire life. The words you choose in your affirmations matter deeply. Avoid negative phrasing that reinforces lack. Instead of saying, "I am free from debt," say, "I live in divine abundance and all my needs are met." The first statement focuses on debt, the second on supply. The universe responds to focus, not to denial. Every time you affirm a truth of abundance, you are creating a blueprint for divine energy to follow. Choose words that lift you, strengthen you, and fill you with peace. Let them be simple, but let them be alive with conviction. Some people doubt the value of daily affirmation because they expect instant transformation. Yet spiritual law unfolds according to faith and consistency. The morning you plant a seed, you do not demand fruit by noon. You trust the process of growth. So it is with affirmation. Each repetition waters the seed, deepens the roots, strengthens the stem, until one day the bloom of prosperity appears effortlessly. Those who give up too soon walk away just before the harvest. The wise understand that the unseen growth is just as important as the visible outcome. Affirmations are also powerful because they overrate the subconscious programs that govern much of your behavior. From childhood, many have absorbed limiting beliefs about money, worth, and success. These beliefs operate silently, shaping choices and expectations. Daily affirmation is the conscious rewriting of those inner scripts. Each time you declare, "I am one with the infinite source of supply," you are replacing an old thought of separation with a new thought of unity. Over time, these new patterns become automatic, and prosperity begins to flow without effort. The consistency of daily affirmation also trains your attention. Whatever you focus on expands. If you start each day affirming abundance, your awareness becomes tuned to notice opportunities, synchronicities, and blessings that once went unnoticed. You become more receptive to inspiration, more confident in your decisions, more generous in your giving. The affirmation does not merely change outer events. It changes the lens through which you perceive them. Life reflects your dominant vibration, and daily affirmation keeps that vibration high, pure, and aligned with divine truth. It is not necessary to affirm for hours. A few sincere moments each morning are enough to set the tone of the day. The key is feeling. Words spoken mechanically carry little power, but words spoken with conviction release creative fire. Even a simple statement like, "I am provided for in all ways," can open the floodgates of abundance if it is felt deeply. The universe does not measure the length of your affirmation, but the strength of your belief. You may find it helpful to write your affirmations and keep them where you will see them often. On a mirror, a desk, or a phone screen. Each glance becomes a reminder of truth. You are training your consciousness through repetition, the same way one strengthens a muscle through consistent use. Over time, the effort fades, and the truth becomes natural. You no longer need to affirm abundance because you think you lack it. You affirm because you know it is your essence. Daily affirmation is also an act of reverence. It acknowledges your partnership with the divine, your willingness to co-create with infinite intelligence. It is a declaration that you are not at the mercy of circumstance, but a conscious participant in divine order. Each affirmation says to the universe, "I trust you. I know your laws are good. I align myself with your abundance." This attitude of trust magnetizes supply. The universe responds to faith as sound responds to vibration. It harmonizes instantly. As you maintain this practice, you will notice subtle shifts. Worry loses its grip, ideas flow more easily, doors open where walls once stood. The same world that once seemed uncertain begins to reflect stability and ease. Nothing outside has changed except your consciousness, but consciousness is the only true cause. The outer world always mirrors the inner word. Through daily affirmation, you become a living expression of divine supply, and everything around you reorganizes itself to match that truth. In time, affirmations become more than words. They become your natural thought pattern, your steady inner tone. You find yourself blessing each moment without effort, affirming abundance even in silence. You begin to live in continuous awareness of your oneness with divine substance. The need for reassurance fades, replaced by quiet confidence. You no longer affirm to attract something. You affirm because you are already one with it. Your words become gentle reminders of an eternal truth, that infinite supply is forever flowing through you, that the universe supports you in every breath, and that each day, through the power of conscious affirmation, you awaken once more to the limitless abundance that has always been yours.